Over the last couple of years, what we're seeing is a lot of superficial gestures, actions and events that don't really kind of move the needle in terms of the advancement of women's issues, whether it's health, whether it's education, finance, business. You see a lot of things like, cupcakes or heart-shaped hands. And, whilst those things have their place, I don't think their place is in the fight for equality.
Or posters by big companies who do cupcakes and love hands and what have you, and still don't pay their women the same.
And still pay their women 12.5% less than they pay their men. Like, that's just hypocrisy.
That difference, those inequalities are still so stark. And it's not just work opportunities and pay, it's a lot more, isn't it?
There is a lot more. Like, if we look at, women wanting to return to work after having a child, I know women who are not able to return to work because they can't afford childcare. If you look at some parts of the world, look at Roe versus Wade in America, women are actually having to come out and fight for the right to make decisions about their own bodies. While, having things like International Women's Day is fantastic, it just feels to me like it's been diluted, and I don't really see how it kind of impacts change. I don't really see how it's going to bring about meaningful change. According to studies and research, we're still over 100 years away from closing the gender pay gap. So, when you look at it from that standpoint, like I say, I think International Women's Day has its place, but we need to take decisive action. And the reality is, cupcakes and heart-shaped hands are not going to achieve the things that we want to achieve.
It's a view shared by the women's organisation in Liverpool, as we heard in that report. Do you think us women should just boycott all this posturing, as you'd call it?
I think like I said before, there is a place for that, but I don't think it is in the fight to achieve parity and equity for women. I just don't see how we're going to achieve the things that we need to achieve in order to move women forward, because it's not just about gender pay. There's the gender health gap, there is the gender wealth gap. There are so many issues. In parts of the world, girls and women can no longer be educated. And I also think it's important that we demonstrate to our young girls and our young women the type of action that results in change. If they see me baking cakes, like, what's that going to do? Don't get me wrong, I love a cake, but it's not going to achieve the aims and outcomes that we want to achieve, is it?
We all love cake.
We all love cake. Those rights are enshrined in law. They're meant to be enshrined in law. So why is that not working? Is the structure not there in the first place?
I think for me, I don't feel that the structures and systems in place are designed for everyone, and which is why they don't work for everyone. If we go back through history, they weren't designed by diverse groups of people, so therefore they're not going to work for the whole of society. And I think that's the problem. Another issue I find as well is accountability. We still don't call people out, and I can understand why, because people are scared to speak out. But until we start challenging people, challenging the status quo and calling people out and holding people accountable, things will not change.